Have you seen application crash suddenly for no reason? Most of the time, it is caused by something called Null Pointer Exception. It's like asking someone to bring you water. When they get to the tap, there is no water flowing. In Kotlin, it is called null. That means there is nothing there. And today I'll show you how Kotlin protects your application from this exact situation. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let's dive in. So what is null? In programming, null means nothing, no value, not available. Imagine walking into a dark room, flipping the switch to turn on the light, but nothing happened. You check the socket and realize there's no bulb in it. You expected light, but there's nothing to produce it. That's exactly what happens in code when you try to access a variable that has no value. In other programming languages like Java, this situation calls something called Null Pointer Exception. But Kotlin was designed to stop this problem before it even happened, and that's what is called Null Safety. So by default, Kotlin does not allow you to create a variable that accepts null. So when you create a variable called name and you try to assign null to it, when you run this application, you get error because Kotlin does not allow you to assign null to a string variable. But sometimes you want a variable that accepts both a value and then a null value. In that case, you use a question mark after the data type. So this tells Kotlin that you want your variable name to accept both string value and then null value. So now if we run it, you see that our error is gone. So now that we explicitly tell Kotlin to make this variable nullable, what happens when we use it in our code? So let's print the length of the number of characters in the name Mauli. So when you run the application, you get this error. The reason is that it is possible you call the name variable and there is nothing in it, or it is null. In that situation, you can't operate this length property on empty container. So to fix it, you have to use the save call operator, which is a question mark and then a period or full stop. So the two must move together. So now when you run the application, you see that the length has been printed, which is 6. This is the save call operator. So when we make this one null and we run it, you get null. The application does not crash. But sometimes you want to provide a default value when it is null. Instead of returning the message null or not printing anything at all, you want to show a more friendlier message to the user that, oh, maybe it is empty, which is like 0, or you print a message that, sorry, there's no record here. So to handle such a situation, we have another operator called the Elvis operator. So let's create a variable called length, and then we'll store the length variable in it. So here, if the length is not null, we store it. But if it's null, you use the Elvis operator, which is this, and then put the default value. When it's empty or when it's null, instead of printing the null or not printing anything, we want to show 0, which means there's nothing there. So this is our default value that we provide. And now we can print the length. And we get what? The name length is 0 instead of getting the null. And if we should comment this, we'll get the name length is 6. So when there is actual value, we get the value from here. But when it is null, we get the default value. Alright, before we continue, if this has been helpful, make sure you drop a like and subscribe for more Kotlin lessons. Let's continue. The next operator, which is the Non-Null Assertion operator, written as double exclamation mark. So this operator is actually dangerous. It tells Kotlin that, trust me, this will never be null. For example, to print a message, I'll copy this line and paste here. And instead of using the save call, you use the double exclamation. And then this tells Kotlin that what? I am certain that this name variable will always contain a value. But when you run it, you get 6. But when we enable this null operator here and you run it, then you get null pointer exception. So you only use the double exclamation mark when you are 100% certain that this variable will contain a value. So to recap, you use a question mark to make a variable nullable. You use a question mark and a period to make a save call. You use a question mark and then a column to provide a default value or a backup value. And you use the double exclamation mark when you are certain the variable will always have a value. And this is one of the reasons why Kotlin is so powerful. So next time you see question mark in Kotlin, remember it is not confusion, it is rather a protection. If this helped you understand null safety better, drop a like, leave a comment, and share this video with a friend who is also learning Kotlin. See you in the next video.